Have you guys got your MCP yet? Have you guys got
No,
your
it's a
ranks and
myth.
stuff?
It's a myth in Hawaii. It doesn't work. Yeah, it's a
Bruh,
unicorn.
why does everybody get their MCP but us? Why is it everybody but us?
Okay, you didn't get it either.
No, everybody but then now I kind of don't want my MCP. Now that I see that everybody's got these like outrageous.
You're a legend, right? Or you're a master.
Let's say he has 1,300 comics. What?
Yeah, I'm waiting. Oh. My stat's gonna say he's an ant. You know,
he's a guppy. Tadpole living dude. Like I'm not there. I'm not there.
Yeah. That's what we wanted. We wanted a leaderboard. Here it is, right?
But that's awesome, right? Because you're gonna get those people just like how they do with HRO and the other ones, like they gotta be on top. Which I love it. I love it. I just now know that I'm gonna be nowhere near there. But like some people, they have really impressive collections, man. And for how much people say like, oh, everybody's selling and everybody's doing this. Like, no, there's people still out there that got like good chunks.
And like and they're very humble about it too, right? Like, I don't want to name names, but there's a couple that come to mind right now where they're stacking very quietly. They have a plan. They're not telling their plan, but you see them. You see them once in a while, like
I experienced that at DCon where I'm just talking to a couple people and like I'm showing them my collection, like, oh look, I got like all these. I haven't got all the golden moments yet, but I'm almost there. And he's like, oh yeah, I got like 45. What? 45 what?
Yeah.
Wait, are you Dr. Prophet?
So I want to change gears a little bit. We've been talking about VeVe, and we've been talking a little bit about your journey in VeVe, and we've just been kind of going all over the place, which I love. That's the thing about this podcast. We're okay with that. We don't have to stick to script. We don't even have to have any type of like format to follow. It's however you want to go at. But I kind of want to talk about a little bit about you, and your YouTube project that you're thinking about doing. Is that something that you could explain to us? If not, then we can pass this question. We don't have to have it on the podcast.
No. It's a lot of people have been wanting me to do a YouTube channel. I've been wanting. It's funny enough. I was doing some drop streams, right? And this is like in the beginning and stuff. And I was doing drop streams, and literally, I was just little OG Vote. I did everything that and it was funny because I realized what I was doing. I was like, I'm doing everything that he did. I'm literally watching him on my stream about a drop stream. Like, oh, did Volt hit? Maybe he did hit. No, all right, cool. But this is, I think I've come up with an idea, and I've started to create characters now, right? And so in one of the coolest people in the space, VeVe Arcade, right? Like one of brilliant mind, super creative artist, and like one day I just hit him up and I was like, look, man, I just want to help. I just want to help you out. Like, I love what he does on Sundays, right? Because now he has Sunday Trivia Day. And
love it.
It's one of the best parts of my week, just because of how energetic and just thrilling and just fun he's making it for those 40 people that are there. You know what I mean? Like, it's great. And like one of the things that I and I would try to go on every week. And like one of the things I noticed was just like, my man has so much energy that him looking for names kills it. Like, it kills it because he's like, I don't know which one. Yeah.
Spin the wheel.
I always get so hyped on that on Sunday.
So I just reached out to him and I was like, look, man, like if there's any way I can help, like, you know what I mean? Like I just want to help, like, you know what I mean? Like I can't I can't support you because you're not at 1,000 subscribers yet, but he's going to get there. And like same thing like the Real Uncommon podcast. You better subscribe right now. What you doing? What you doing?
If you want to. If you want to. We'd appreciate it.
You made it this far. No. You want to. You're here. It's time. It's time
I don't want it. Yeah.
Right
You ain't sleeping yet. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if you're not snoring, it'd be cool if you hit the like button.
So like my own project though. So I created a character named the Rugger on VeVe Arcade, and completely out of nowhere I created this dude, right? It's been fun, and I got some plans for Sunday that I'm gonna make it even more.
On my rug right here. Oh, that's an underwear. Oops.
No,
Oh, the wrong one. Dang.
Oh, that's funny. So what I was thinking is I'm gonna come up with this Love Doctor character, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give NFT relationship advice, not financial advice. All right. So so my idea is like just like old school talk shows is like have people write in letters or they come in live and we talk about their relationship with their NFT. Is it time to move on? Is it time? Should you keep them? Are they worth it? Are they going to work hard for you in the end? Awesome. Or are they just going to let it go? So like that, it's kind of funny. You know, I kind of want to I just want to
bring in the baby mama.
Yeah. Oh, here comes the airdrop. And that was the thing, like, right? Like everybody's got like something, and I was like, I want to try to create something. So that's what I just want to make something fun, you know, like just lose like 5 minutes of your day just having a laugh, and then just going back on, man. So I'm coming up with some scripts and stuff like that. So should be out to be determined soon.
Hashtag soon. Very soon.
I have a very weird way that I want to do my channel. I'm never going to promote it. I am never going to retweet. I'm just going to let the people that find it, and then naturally will grow into something fun. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just have weird ideas. Like like I want like people to discover it. Like like. When I discovered VeVe, like it was magical, and I just like saw all these different people, and it's fleshed out to this thing now where like, look, man, I consider a lot of y'all family. Like that's just how I feel. Like we're meeting each other over the internet and all that kind of stuff, but like right now, like I feel connected to y'all. Like I really do. Like y'all my people from now. Now, like y'all my people.
100%, man. We're all brothers and sisters here.
Hey,
that's right. But you're always the biggest bro.
I'll try. My brother, he'll try to like claim. I gave him tallest bro. He's tall.
Yeah, I love the idea of your channel, man, and I love the fact that because it goes back to like you and I was watching all these content creators last year. We were in their chats, we were trying to like interact with them, and now we are on YouTube, we are on Twitter, and we're doing the same things they did. And what I love of what we're doing, bro, and I kind of go back to the episode with VeVe Arcade where he said that we're all introducing these new flavors, these new avenues with content, and maybe you won't jive with me, but you'll drive with this other person, or you'll do it all. And that's the thing that we're doing, and we're not being repetitious. Like the one thing that I told D when we started this podcast is I didn't want to tell the news. I did not want to tell the news. I did not want to do price predictions. I am not a financial advisor, nor should I even be one. But what I want to do is talk story. And so that's what came into. We just want to talk story, off the cuff, out there, total rookie setup. We are at amateur hour. We're proud of it,
But that's where you get the best stories. That's when you get the actual stuff. Like like we had kind of like our notes of what we were going to talk about, but like just how this conversation just naturally has been going. It's fun, man.
Throw it out.
Okay, this is like not VeVe related at all.
All right.
But when I reached out to you about coming on, you mentioned that you worked on the weekends because of WrestleMania, and I was like, what the shit? Because my brother and I, we grew up watching WrestleMania, and he's a few years older than me, so I was the ragdoll that he would practice on. All his moves and DDTs and the and
you would do the superstar intro?
And I was like, oh my god. So when you said that, I was like, what? WrestleMania? So
I've been a wrestling fan my entire life. Like, I love wrestling. Yes, it's fake. Yes, it's storyline. But you know what? These are my man soaps, and I love them. Yes, it's ridiculous, but I grew up on them. And
what?
Like,
right?
Man soap.
That's my man soaps. That's what I call them.
I love that.
Like, I gotta find out what
We need
next
a
week.
bumper sticker with that.
I got my man
Triple H
soaps
do
today.
now. But I live in Inglewood, where they built the stadium, and they did, once they announced that they were going to do WrestleMania there, I knew I had to get a job there, right? And so I've been blessed to have that job where I got to see like so many different cool concerts now, big giant productions. But WrestleMania is coming, and I cannot be any more excited for anything, because it's been, like, I'm pretty sure that you and your brother, it's a dream. You watch people going to WrestleMania and go, wow, I want to be there. And I'm actually going to be able to be there. Like, I am so happy.
Awesome.
I am so happy. And I'm going to take a picture with all my collectibles and be like, yeah, WrestleMania, let's go.
You gotta put something in AR in the in the ring.
What I'll do is I'll put my Lambo in the ring, right? And I'll be like, John Cena's driving it, you just can't see him.
yeah. With an Elsa on the top.
There you go, right?
Oh, that's so
Oh
awesome.
man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
cool, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's been a really fun job, and I'm really lucky, man. I'm really lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool when I saw him. Like, what? I could not believe it.
And then again, just like VeVe, I'm becoming a part of fandoms that I had no idea about, like BTS, right? That's a Korean pop, K-pop. The first day, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna suck. It's all these whiny teenagers, and they're gonna be the nicest people in the world. They have the best fans ever. Just listen to, and those guys can run it. They put on a show. They put on a show. By the end of the second night, I'm like, no. I'm in there with them. You know what I mean? Like, I know people are like, oh, it's everybody's super negative at times and stuff like that, but like, I just find my little pockets of positivity, like you guys, like my collectible stream, like VeVe, like, you know what I mean? And like, you have to make it fun. You have to make it fun. You can't. It's like you said, man. As long as you're not disrespectful, we should all just listen. It doesn't hurt to listen, man.
Yeah, and at one time they were a part of this community in a positive way, and something made them change their minds. And it's okay, and it works both ways, right? Like, people are watching our pockets and all that stuff, right? And there's that group of people, but then there's also the group of people that are like going and really hitting hard on these people and calling people futters when what if they're not futters? What if they are just regular people that change their minds because maybe they put enough money in here, maybe they're not happy with this or that, or whatever the fudding or the negativity is about, whether VeVe missed the deadline or whatever, they have valid reasons for feeling that way, right? I just think it's delivery,
and I think that's the big thing right now, right? It's a lot of the crypto guys and the Web3 guys that are feeling that they're getting ousted, right? Because and like we didn't come into VeVe during that time where like, oh, you need the wallet and interoperable and all this stuff. Like, I'm learning about that, but I do give their point, right? Like, these are things that they bought into, right? And so I think that, and I hope that's the plan, is that VeVe slowly brings them also in and doesn't leave them behind, right? Because they're like, as much as people complain about it, like, they're important. Like, we need the flippers. We need these people. Like, they're part of our community too. You know what I mean? They're our cousins.
Even like I said, like the people that think futters are futters, right? At one time, they were positive in the community, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because you're right. I mean, my point of view is I treat this as a business, but there are a lot of people that treat this as a project. They want interoperability, and it's warranted, because of what they've said in the past. So don't get me wrong on that either, right? Both sides have really good arguments.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? But and like I tell people that also, at the same time, you got to give them some grace, man. You got to give these guys grace. And one thing, like I said, I'd rather you take your time than do something that's rushed and it's just like, oh, dude, why'd you do that? I do want to talk about an important conversation that happened to me and has happened to the people of the community, and that's being disabled, or like account being disabled. Now, I recently there was one of the users that she just got her account back, right? I forget her name. Farina, exactly. And I went through that too. I went through it, and my story was, it was the Black Panther drop, right? And I'm super excited. I'm like, this is the time. I'm gonna get one. And all I wanted was a common. So I go for it. I get it ultra rare. And this is my first big one. This is my big one. I'm like, yes, I got it. The next day I sign on, account disabled. Huh? No, not me.
Yeah.
Account disabled. Oh no. Then I went on, signed on to the website, put in my code, put in my ticket, and then I was patient, right? Because I was like, I'm gonna believe in a team. They said put a support ticket. I'm gonna put my support ticket. It's gonna be good. 2 weeks go by, and I get at the review, you must have done something, and we're gonna ban you. And my wife could tell you, like, I was upset. I was distraught because, like you said, like, I just started feeling a part of this community. I started like putting like stuff together, like, oh yeah, I got this and this, I was playing in my showroom and everything. And I remember that feeling of just, it was gone. And then it was like a wall, right? Because now they said it was over. And I remember just like being just like, what do I do? And you go on Twitter, I'm asking for help. Oh, you must have did something. You must have had a bot. You must have did something.
Yeah, like, that's all that happens after, right?
That's all it is. Like, no, it's your fault. You did this. You did like,
yeah. But you bought 30 gems.
No, I didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I will say, in the beginning, before all that, there was the gem thing where you can buy the gems and stuff like that. What they said, I double checked and I was like, they can do it. Okay. Once they said no, I follow the rules because I don't want to mess up. But like when it happened, like that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, well, was it because of the thing I did like 3 months ago? Or like, I remember because I play Pokemon Go too, right? And so I was like, oh, maybe it was the Go catcher that I have on my phone. Like maybe they thought I was botting, and then like, no, it's just for Pokemon. It's like I remember writing in the email too, like, no, I have an auto.
Yeah,
but it's
my evidence.
Like, like
please
respond to account.
Yeah. Right, and it didn't seem like I was getting anywhere, man, and it is disheartening. And so like ultimately, I just put like a plea on Twitter, right? Because I was just like, I'm desperate at this point. Like, guys, help me. Like, like I will go through everything. You can look through everything that I've done. Look through my list. I have nothing to hide. I'm never hiding my Mint number so you can't find me. Look, guys, like I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. And honestly, and the funny thing is, it wasn't until I did that and people retweeted just like we did for Verena, and then magically it just came by and it was like, oh, we reviewed your account again and it's all good, but don't do it again. Like, do what? I'm scared, I just, it just, my criticism is that, like, I just wish that there was, it's just that I knew that somebody actually investigated it. Because nothing's more disheartening than, like, getting a stock email and, like,
a robo answer, right?
A robo answer, and there's no proof, or there's nothing that that you did wrong. Like, what did I do? Maybe I was on a different Wi-Fi. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? So, like,
but you know what? I want to touch on that because it's pretty bad. So I work with firewalls, right, in my profession, and to me, it sounds like they've got it turned way too up. To a point where it's like, they don't want to let anything through that they think is nefarious. But what is nefarious, right? And it's really bad that people are getting locked out like that. And I don't want to touch on Verena because she was, I think it was 6 months. She's literally was in the, just on the floor of Twitter asking for help. Yeah. And, there was a point where Dee and I wanted to get her on the podcast. I said, okay, nobody's answering you. We want to help you. Let's get you on and then let's get community opinion involved. But she was very patient and wanted to wait for VeVe to make, and I hope you're okay with me saying that, Verena. No. But, because she might be watching this, but we wanted to get her on, but she was very patient with VeVe, and VeVe finally unlocked her account. Now, we had 2 other community members, and I won't say their names, reach out to us saying, nobody's helping us. Can you please help us? Can we come on your podcast and explain to people what's going on? We had 2 people that were going to come on the podcast, and that was the whole purpose of this podcast, was to help our community if they ever needed a voice. And it still is. I know we do music and it's a production sometimes, but this is still the community voice. If you guys ever want to come on here, if you have concerns, or if you just want like a platform to like express yourself respectfully.
Yeah.
But for some reason, like, we were ready to film, like the night before we're ready to film, the day we film, we get like a message, oh, they unlocked my account. Right? That's weird.
They're watching.
That's strange. You know what I mean? Are they watching our tweets? Like because I'm very honest. I'm like, okay, well, we're going to get you on. Let's get you on. Like, who's watching these tweets? And all of a sudden, my account's unlocked.
And by all means, that's a wonderful thing, right? But, like, I wish it was just communicated, right? Like, I can't tell you the relief that I got when I got that email, right? And and it's funny because, like you said, I was waiting too, right? And I was just like, okay, I'm just waiting on the email. They're gonna be like, okay, we saw that it was okay. And like I said, when I got that email, that was just like, no, yeah, we checked and you really did do something. I was like,
what was it?
What
did I do?
What? Yeah. Anything. Like you tell me what I did wrong, and okay, maybe, but like I know I didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? So it was just, and that's why I really wanted to put a shine on you and Dee, and like really sticking up for her. And I wanted to shout out to Kobe Collects, because when I was going through the same thing, he was willing to do the same thing. I was going to go on his show and he was going to interview me, but they changed. They did the same thing. It's like they know, like, wait a minute, they're about to do an interview.
We don't want bad press.
No interviews.
Press is good press.
We're gonna stop you.
It'll light a fire under their ass.
But yeah, man, like, and that's one thing, right? Like, and I'm still a Moon Boy. I'm still a Moon Boy, and I remember listening to those fun spaces then too, because that's how I know how it starts, because I was right there. I was like, Yeah, it's a rug pull, scam, they took my stuff. You know, and like like I said, like I just knew, but in the end, like I knew I didn't do anything wrong, and I knew I was going to get it back. Like ultimately, and my wife was just like, "Yep, see, you lost all your gems."
Hey, thanks for bringing that up. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, man.
You know, and I'm glad we're talking about that because it's something that needs to be talked about. And you know, I'm glad the community is sticking up for people too.
It's man, it's just funny. Like one day, right? You look, somebody's got to like go back into history and just like look back at like how much this community has been through, like the different cycles of just different stuff. It's been an adventure, man, and I love that being a part of it. I love it, dude.
Same. And I'm glad that we're all a part of it together and we're making friends. Like we're making friends from all over the world. Like I'm connecting with you from California. We got arcade in Vegas. I connect with people in the UK and Australia. Canada.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, what island are you guys?
Big Island. The Big Island of Hawaii.
I love your island. That's the best island. So my wife and I, that was our honeymoon. Like we took a cruise and we left from Long Beach and we went and stopped at each island. Like it was a really super nice cruise. It was awesome. And like Honolulu and stuff, like it's cool, but it's like being in LA again. It was like, I'm okay.
That is the city.
Like Maui was awesome, beautiful, but Big Island, Hilo, I fell in love, man. This is the island. This is the island, and then like you get to go on a mountain and see stargazing. Oh,
did you guys actually stay on the island for like overnight? Oh, yeah. Perfect. Then you guys went up to Mauna Kea?
Yep, got to see the stargazing. Oh man, it was so cool. I don't know. Like I told my wife, I was like, yeah, this is my island. The other islands are just like very touristy. Like this is real. And it's funny because I also have one of my best friends. He actually went to the University of Hawaii, so like he's coming
Rainbow
back.
Warrior.
Yeah, he's a Rainbow Warrior. He came back like, oh, do you know about the kind, bro? I was like, the kind? What are you talking about? The kind, bro.
You seen a thing in the sky when fall on my face? The bugger was fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I love it, man. I just fell in love with this, like the whole path. Oh, here's a random story, right? So I grew up my entire life. I never really met my dad, right? And so I grew up my entire life, and my mom never really mentioned what race my dad was, right? And so I grew up thinking that he was white, right? Until about like 3 years ago, I took an ancestry test, and this is right after I went to Hawaii, right? And I was sitting there, and I'm just like, man, this is my vibe. I feel at home here, like just like an island. Like I can just sit here and just watch the ocean. This is beautiful. Like I'm Tongan. I found out I was Islander.
I had a bet with D. I'm like, I bet he's part Pacific Islander.
Yeah, I was like, it's either he's Samoan or Tongan.
I had no clue, right? But everything makes sense. Like I was just like, it was so funny. I remember my grandma like always like, that boy just loves rice. He's just always eating rice. It is like everybody like, what's your? I love rice. I don't know why, but now I know why. It's a part of me.
Oh, so cool.
So that's another cool thing that I get to do is kind of find my Islander family out there. So that's going to be fun.
Oh man, that is awesome. This has been such a really fun interview, man. I've been enjoying this, dude.
I told you guys, man, we're just going to have fun today, guys.
Heck yeah. So go ahead, D.
No, I was going to tell him I'm originally from an island in Micronesia.
Oh, really?
A lot of people don't know about it, but it's close to Guam.
Okay.
But yeah, so I thought I was like, when I was talking to Hinan, I was like, I'm sure he's like some kind of like Polynesian person.
I do, and it's so funny because like in high school, I grew up with all Samoans and Tongans, and like like, oh man, you're my family. It was like, yeah, you too. It was, they could have been this whole time.
But isn't it such a good vibe, like the island vibe? Because a lot of Pacific Islanders, and I'm just gonna like speak broadly, you got like Hawaiians, you got Tahitians, Tongans, Samoans, Chamorro.
Yeah,
there's all something in common we have. We all have that aloha spirit. Even if you're not from Hawaii, you know what I mean? We're all just kind folk that just, we're easygoing, we're down to earth, we're very chill. Yeah. We definitely don't want any negativity. We're all about positive, right? And we're all nice, unless you're disrespectful. It's all about respect, right?
It's all about respect. Like, look, I can disagree with you, but I can always still respect you. You know what I mean? And that's what life's about, man. Like I wouldn't want to hear like the same opinions that I have all the time, because then I know what you're gonna say. You know what I mean? Like I need to hear like, okay, like even with us, right? Like when I first got into VeVe app, I'm telling you, why would anybody buy comics? Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, why would they buy a digital comic? You just read it they can buy it online. But now I get it, because somebody opened my mind and was like, these are historic comics that people wish they could have, and you have an opportunity.
And they're certified by Marvel. It's not like they're certified by some off-brand. It's Marvel releasing these, under VeVe.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it blows my mind. But to go back to the whole Pacific Islander thing, and I want to talk about Dee a little bit. She is from the island of Yap, but Dee has an interesting story because she has been more rural than anyone else. Her lifestyle has been very more rural than anyone else. Like, they lived in huts. They ran around in like little two-leaf skirts and stuff like that, and they rap. And I'm not lying, MID. I'm telling the truth, ain't I?
But that's awesome, though.
Rural life. And so, just spoiler, everyone, we will have the Dee interview one day. And you'll get to find out a little bit more about Dee. But see, for another time.
But see, that's another thing, right? But that's where you can see her soul in that, right? Like how she was raised. It just... You could feel the love from all the people that she was surrounded with and the things that she was taught. That's beautiful, man. Hell yeah, that's so cool.
There is going to be an interesting story to come from her, and I told her it'd be a really cool story to share with the VeVe fam, because it's very exotic and interesting. Like when I first met my wife and she was telling me about all the things that she was doing when she was a kid, my eyes was like, what? Like, I'd have to open, huh? You made rap? Huh?
Right?
You made a bat? Huh?
But it's so cool. It's like, wow.
Yeah. But you see now, this is kind of like the stuff that we want to cover on this podcast. We want to cover the people. We want to talk story with you. We want to have this long conversation. We want the conversation to go all over the place.
Yeah, man.
That's what this is about.
I'm really good at that, all over the place.
Same here with us.
Well, you're welcome back anytime, man. If you ever want to be a co-host on here, I would love to have you as a co-host. You would make or a main host, Hey, you ever want to interview anybody?
I will help out however I can, my friends. I will support this to the moon. The Real Uncommon Podcast, big things to come, man.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thank you for the opportunity. And one of the really things I want to say this is, when Dee first asked me, I was like, but I'm nobody, just like you said.
No, you're not a nobody.
I'm going to point your words right back at you. You are somebody. Hey, you're somebody worth being interviewed. That's both of y'all.
Dee, is there anything else you want to ask the biggest bro?
Oh, man. This has been so fun.
Yeah. I'm not gonna forget this one, man. Like I want to have you on again.
Anytime, man. I'm down.
We gotta have a round 2. I have a feeling that we could just speak for hours. But I want to touch on what you said about the people in general in the community, right? You know, and being patient. In the end, whether you're watching this and people call you a futter, or people call you a moon boy, or people call you someone that was a moon boy that turned to a futter, or vice versa. You know, we're all the same here, guys. You know, we all want the same goal. We want either whatever project that you're in, whether it be VeVe Bat Cowls or whatever, to succeed. And you all have valid points. Everything that you're saying in the community should be heard. As the biggest bro said, you know, I'm not someone that wants to block anybody, and neither does anyone else here. You know, and if I think as long as we're respectful towards each other, you know, your points will get across. You know, there was people today fighting, and not once did I ever say anything bad about them. In fact, I told them good morning. You know, yeah. I say, hey, good morning. You know, like I was waiting for you to show up. And I hope you have a good day. I was being honest. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm not gonna block any of these people because I've chatted with them. I've made friends with them. Right? You know, and it. Yeah, their opinions have changed because of something they didn't like, and their opinions are warranted. So whoever's watching this, just know your opinions are warranted, and we're all a part of the same community. And I just think our messages are just getting mismatched a little bit. Yeah. But I think if we're just a little bit more respectful towards each other, we can communicate a little bit better.
And but that's all just learn. We can learn. That's the beauty of this whole thing. Yeah. We're all learning about stuff. Like, I may not know about comics, but I can learn from Inami. I can learn from Sleepin'. They might not know the Disney craze and the Disney fans as much as I do, but they can learn from me that Disney people will literally buy anything collectible.
Yeah. But man, dude, it was such a fun time having you on the podcast. I got one more question for you, biggest bro.
Of course,
it don't matter if I'm fuzzy or not. It's a question I like to ask everybody before they go, and that's basically VeVe. I kind of want to know in detail, why are you still in VeVe? What compels you to buy these collectibles, to stay in the app, to promote the app, to be positive in the app? And also a secondary question on top of that, what is the last thing, or do you have any message that you want to give the community before you go?
Wow. Those are both very good questions. The reason why I am still in VeVe is because, honestly, I've met the people. I've met the people that brought me in as an OG vote. I was able to meet him. I know he's real. I've met the team. I know they're real. Now, like, do I know them personally and can vouch for them and stuff like that? No, but I can feel their spirits. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to sound like all hoopla and stuff like that, but it's like, you could tell people's demeanor, and by all means they could have fooled me, but I feel that they were genuine. I felt that when I was talking to Dan and he was kind of faded, like, I feel that he was giving me genuine opinions about how he felt and stuff like that. When I was talking to David, he's really that genuine guy, and he just really loves collecting. Like, I saw it, like, you know, like these little tiny things like this. Like, I saw him go around Decon and like talking to artists and like, hey, you think I can get this? Like, you know what I mean? Like trying to get stuff. Like, and I was like, it's just cool. When you see somebody nerd out like that, like, it's like, one of us, you know?
And he's a CEO. People look at him like, no, David's he's like a child, and you know, he just collects. No.
Fools.
Yeah, he's got mirages on everybody. Not only is he a collector and he has that childlike joy for these collectibles, but the man's a businessman. The man's sharp, and the man knows what he's doing.
He knows how to talk, and I'm glad you brought up like he's a child. Like, dude,
he's not, by the way.
No, like, yeah,
he's not.
And I get it, you know what I mean. On AMP, people have a very small sample size of him online, you know what I mean. And like I said, but that's why I believe in it, because I've seen it with my real eyes. I've seen the people behind the scenes, the moderators, and shout outs to them. Like one person, and I will say this, one person that really like cemented for me was Eagle Eyes, and he's a moderator for VeVe, and what a genuinely solid guy. I sat there and talked to him, and he didn't know who I was. I really didn't know who he was. He just had like the mask on, you know what I mean? but just sensing the real like just love for the community, and then getting to see the content creators, seeing Dino, seeing Vibe, seeing my collectibles, and being involved in these spaces, and even in Twitter now, like I've become more vocal in talking to Twitter, and just it's just the community. And like you said, you can go to Backhouse, you can go to HRO, you can go everywhere, you can go to Quid, and that's fine. Like most of the VeVe fam, I support you. I may not be a part of it, you know what I mean? But I support it. Like I want the Backhouse to win. Do I have a stake in what is real FA Batman? Not really. I don't have a Todd. I don't have a backup. I think we're all winners here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I think what really just like solidifies me is just the people behind it. I know they have the big brands, and I know how the big brands. I know how they work. Like I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna make money. That's the number one thing. And right, it's a business, but I think that they protect their brands long enough that it's gonna be okay. So I really think, and the one thing that I really want to tell people is this: collect what you love. Don't go head over heels into anything. Make calm decisions. Make decisions that are sound. Try not to FOMO. I speak from experience. Probably 1 out of 15 FOMOs has worked for me. You know what I mean? So like, just temper expectations, and most of all, be patient, guys. This isn't Disney. They haven't been solidified for 60 years. They're new still, and that's not a great excuse, but just you have to be patient, and we want them to do it right. We want them to do it right. That's the biggest thing. Just have patience, guys. It's gonna be fine.
And if you don't, it's cool. You know, just take a break. You know what I mean? Just take a break.
Take a break.
Unplug for 6 months, come back, and if it's still not worth it, keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Take a break.
And don't listen to people that tell you to take out a credit card and buy Boba Fett's.
It goes back to the whole thing I said. We're not financial advisors. This is not financial advice. We're just talking story.
Yeah. And soon Dr. Love Bro will be out there, and he will be giving financial advice, but relationship advice with your NFT.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, the biggest bro. Thank you for coming on the podcast, man. It's been such a pleasure to have you on.
Anytime, man.
Are you sure there's not any question you want to ask him before we let him go?
No, man. I've just been enjoying this. All good.
It's been fun.
Yeah,
it's been fun, man.
Hey,
and
man.
Shout outs to you and VeVe Arcade. Tune into the biggest bro, aka the Rugger, and the man himself, VeVe Arcade, for some music blind box, for some fun times on the VeVe Arcade show every Sunday. Tune in, guys. You get to win some prizes, some nice NFTs from the Light Parade collection, and you get to come on YouTube and interact with some really cool people. I highly suggest you check them out, as well as the biggest bro. Find him on Twitter. Yep. Find him also on his new projects that he's going to do as well. Anything else? Any closing? Any closing remarks before we go?
One closing remark, and this is very important. Subscribe to this channel right now. Subscribe. They're too nice. They're too nice. No, subscribe right now. Right now. Press that button. Thank you.
On that note, guys, thank you so much for coming on, and for the audience for tuning in today. Thank you, everyone, and aloha.
Happy Aloha Friday.